So apparently, I was talking with somebody, a believer, and he got upset. And when I told him God can't have not made the universe because it's imperfect. We got planets, limit, crack, and the universe is not perfect. And if you talk about a God, well, you would talk about perfection. And I told him we're flawed. We're all flawed. He's like, well, how do you know that God didn't do that? How do you know this? And so he got all mad and stuff. And I'm just saying, well, it might have been like some super entity of some sort, not a God. And that just kills the believers. They're like, you know, for them it has to be a God. And then when I describe, like birds have wings they can't use and plants live in the cracks and, all this stuff that's real, um, just throwing them in the loop, they said I had to be God. And so when I said, I don't think it's a God, I think if the, because like, well, how do you know anything? I was like, well, maybe we were programmed by like a super alien entity of some sort. I told him, we're all flawed. He's like, yes, yes, we're all flawed. So I think, um, like, we were maybe, if there was an alien entity or some super alien entity, and even Richard Dawkins agrees. He said, there might have been like a super, like an alien entity that was way advanced than us, and maybe it could program us and maybe program the universe or something. So I think that's what it boils down to, because when you talk about a god, you're talking about perfection. Because what is a god? Like, all the gods are what? Perfect, right? Wouldn't the universe be perfect? Wouldn't we be perfect? I just don't see a god in there. It just doesn't make sense. And with with science having us with anti-aging and eternal life, when that point starts to hit, there'll be no need to believe in any heaven because science will provide the answer already, and we're going to get to that point in a couple of years. So I think religion's going to be in trouble when science and technology is really, you know, because who needs to have to die and go to heaven when you have eternal life already? Science provides eternal life. So, and he got all offended, and I'm like, I'm just being real. Science is providing the eternal life. I mean, I'm an atheist that I don't want to offend people. I just, want people to see the reality for what it is, and just take the harm out of religion and belief in hurting people. Like I said, you're free to believe what you want, but if you ask me, what I think the future is hold, I don't think it's a god. If we were programming the universe and us were programming, I think it was some kind of super alien entity. We already found the building blocks of comets. We found microbes in there, not from Earth. So you add all this together, and plus another planet and other universes, it's simulations running of entities, of aliens, and that science is actually wants us to cloak Earth from aliens. So pretend, and then they can make contact with us because they won't know that we don't exist. About the meeting the aliens, it might be risky and it might not. But science is, I don't think they're called mad scientists. They just want to know. I think everybody needs to know, and we're gonna have to, you know, we're gonna put a foot forward, and because if you don't try to make contact, we will never know, right? Yeah, it could be risky, but I think we should at least try. I mean, everybody wants to know, and the scientist wants to know, so I think, we should at least try, as long as we're on this rock, So yeah. Um, like I said, if you analyze everything, the whole universe, us, no way it could have come from a god. It came from naturalistic means, nothing supernatural. And the Hereditary cell can replicate and create another one, and so that non-life can come from life. That's how it is. And the people that don't understand that are foolish because they don't understand the science and they don't want to understand the science. So, I think we should make contact. I mean, you never know. I mean, maybe there could be friendly aliens. You know, you just don't know. People have been watching the movies with the aliens. They're all scared and stuff. You know, they just think they're gonna wipe us all out. You know, Hawking thought they might be evil, but then Hawking is doing the breakthrough initiative. He wants to find them. He kind of changed his mind. I think we have to. And not only that, I think it'll actually piece more of the puzzle. We can piece more of the puzzle of us and the cosmos, finding them. So I think it's going to help us and the cosmos, us learning more about it and learning the big question, why the universe exists, how does it exist, and what caused it. So I think it's actually crucial, maybe the most crucial step to understanding, because if we find aliens, we can find their technology. They have more advanced systems than us. We can learn from them, and we can take their technology, and the gaps that we have in science will be already filled because we have advanced technology and advanced knowledge of the whole solar system and universe, and we won't have to struggle with machines, Large Hadron Colliders, because we will have the answers. So that aspect, I think finding aliens, contacting them, will be very important. I think we should at least try. Whether it's good or bad, I think we should just do it. So I guess we'll see what happens. They plan on just listening to the aliens, you know, but not. They want to do to listen. The breakthrough initiative wants to listen, and I think some people wants to contact. I guess we'll see what happens in the future. I think we kind of should. And they want to say, put your message. So say whatever you want to them. There's a website, and you could say what you want. So, like I said, if there was a god or something, I don't think it's not a god. It's some kind of super alien entity that programmed a lot of stuff. If that was what it was. You know, how do we know things and all this stuff, and right and wrong, and I think probably maybe put through some kind of computer system. Maybe we're already made, then transport to Earth like it's a prison planet. Maybe we're just cells in a computer factory and that have programmed us like a supercomputer, and program our genes and program with randomness and non-randomness, because actually that's how the twists or turns of evolution turn out to be. Like I said, some kind of super alien entity, more plausible. God, no way. So I guess we'll see what happens in the future. It should be very interesting, and this will be very you know, I mean, we have some knowledge that the life is all over the cosmos, panspermia. You know, we analyzed meteorites, and they had stuff that's not from Earth. They have actually all the elements that makes up life. So who's hurling those meteors with life? Nobody. It's just natural processes. There's no who in the cosmos. It's not just natural process. If there was a who, maybe it was in the beginning, you know, a super alien entity, but maybe it died, or maybe it's, I don't know, transported somewhere else. That's the only who that could be. Well, and then other species besides us, but not a god. Peace.